Shut up, Margaret. We are not friends. Don't talk to me, Margaret.
You there? Come over.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The gates! Open the gates! Oh. I wanted to hear him say it. Of course you know what must be done, especially because there's no way that I'm going to first try the illustrated avatar. Tree spirit, whatever. So you may be asking yourself why this man deserves to die. So, story time. Gostok is actually a pretty tragic character, as much as he's also really kind of scummy. Like, if you let Gostok live, a number of things happen. So let's do story time real quick while I go to round table. So Gostok is heavily implied through dialogue to actually be the rightful heir to this throne. He is heavily implied to trace his bloodline from Godwyn, which is crazy that Godwyn's bloodline eventually becomes so diluted that someone like Gostok is a part of it. Because it's just like, you think about the power of a demigod and then you think about Gostok, right? Like, that's a pretty big disconnect. But Gostok is heavily implied to be descended from Godwyn and to be the one who has the rightful claim to this castle. Catch Flame is like the only spell that you have that I want, I think. We'll get Flame Sling just to have it. I'm not going to use it, but it's nice to have. So now we can do some things. Now we can upgrade. How do we want to play this? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade Bloodhound. Let's boost up my Sacred Sword again. And let's go ahead and boost up my Finger Seal as well. And now we are actually in a pretty good position to start putting the hurt on some people. Do I have any? Yeah. So, Gostok, however, two things happen with Gostok that are why you kind of want to take him out. Three things, technically. One is that in Stormvale and only in Stormvale, every time you die before you clear the castle, if Gostok is still alive, he comes and steals some percentage of your runes every time you die. So you'll find that you're actually getting less and less runes every time you go back to your body, or go back to your collect your fallen runes. The other thing is that you can actually stop and you can see him following you around. I should probably get some better armor, because I can't kill Bernal right now. I mean, I could kill Bernal and then I could take his armor, and I think I can still get what I want. But we'll let Bernal live for now. We'll see him at Volcano Manor. Bernal betrays you also. Everybody betrays you. Not everybody. Most people. Everybody betray me! But you can actually turn around and you can see Gostok stalking you, and you can actually confront him about it. And then also, when you clear the castle and you do Nefelilu's questline and he becomes Nefeli's retainer, he heavily implies that he's going to betray Nefeli at some point also, and we can't be having that. You know what? I changed my mind. Bernal has to die, because I want to show you guys something. So, sorry, Bernie, but you gotta go. So the main road is, maybe, you know what? Okay. I just wanted to show you guys that you can use Assassin's Gambit to make clearing, progressing the front way easier. And I'm going to probably do it twice, because I want to show you guys both ways. So the reason why I'm taking Bernie out is that Bernie has a move that I want, so I can show you guys something. I'm so spoiled by the reach that Bloodhound has now. Now I'm used to Bloodhound, and so I'm like, oh, I can attack from downtown and still land a hit. I think even if you kill Bernie, he actually still shows up to attack you in Crumbling Farm. Sorry, Bernie. In my defense, if Bernie hadn't been holding out and keeping Assassin's Gambit or Death's Gambit or whatever to himself, then I wouldn't have had to take him out. Also, now I have his armor, which is great armor. I'm not using a shield anymore. But it's a little doofy, right? Like, you're not who I wanted to see. It's a little doofy. So we're gonna go do a little bit of Fashion Souls while we do some story time. So back to Gostock. He implies that he's going to betray Nefeli at some point also. I finished that story. So now... Oh, can I just not get that move? Oh, biscuits. Okay, so I have to wait for Volcano Manor anyways. So Bernie died for no reason. Well, I got great armor out of it. Sorry, Bernie. Again, in my defense, Bernal betrays you. So, you know. What am I gonna do? Right. Fashion Souls. Bernal betrays you, so I was gonna have to fight him eventually anyways. But let's go help out Bach real quick, so that he'll become my private seamster. Is he Bach the Seamster or Bach the Seamstress? I don't recall what his name is. So they added that so that you would know to go look over here. Hey, buddy.
What you go and do that for?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
I would love to know who turned Bach into a tree.
Some clod turned me into a tree.
I don't think we ever find out who turned him into a tree.
Thank you. The name's Bok.
I don't even know who would know shape-shifting sorcery in the lands between.
Ended up as a tree.
I mean, like, obviously America and Mikola can shape change. Well, they can transform to their other self. Okay, so now I gotta go over here to the Coastal Cave. So the natural progression for Bach's questline is you find him, he's like, oh, like, if only I could get what I really need to reward you. And then he goes and he gets beat up by the clan that beat him up and tossed him out. And then you go and take out the bosses here and get his sewing needle, and you give him his sewing needle, and he's like, oh my gosh, you're so nice. And he'll alter your garments for you. And then as you progress this quest line, as long as you...
And that sewing kit was I always wanted.
Oh yeah, you can't curl up and die, buddy.
I always wanted.
Nah, you're a good guy. I don't think I see him again for a while. But now I can put a cape on. And now this armor looks way cooler, because that cape is awesome. And also looks a lot like, what's her name's outfit? This kind of reminds me of, I can't think of her name now, but the woman who leads Mikola's Band of the Hawk. Okay, well, if I had been able to use the Ash of War that I wanted, which apparently Bernal just does not teach you till Volcano Manor, I would have shown you that you can use that to turn invisible and just sneak right past here. But this honestly... Oh, I'm fat rolling. That's not good. When did that happen? Oh, the cape must have made me heavier. Okay, hold on. Let's just take off the gloves real quick. Okay. Yeah, so if I had not been, then I would have shown you how simple that is. But yeah, it's really not that bad. You just have to get the timing down. And I need to shake the cobwebs off and get good. Okay. Again, I'm like eternally like, oh, he's gonna stagger any minute now. Because like these are not weapons that I normally use, so I'm used to things that like do way more poise damage. It's been a while since I've played a straight up sword build. Like normally, like if I'm doing melee, I'm playing a strength build. And I'm doing a little bit of a kind of an aimless build right now. Like it's gonna be a faith build. It's gonna be a faith strength build, I think. But then I started putting some points into dexterity, and oh my goodness, right? So that enemy stays dead though. I might as well just go ahead and see. This is interesting too. You can find Saint Trina's lilies literally everywhere in the lands between. So she was very prolific before Mikulik. Okay. So here what you want to do is kind of go over here. And then just try to not leap into the arrows. Okay. Boom, baby. Oh, I completely forgot, too, that I have another talisman. Ouch. Okay. I was trying to make sure that that wasn't going to make me fat roll again. Okay. Now we're going to go do a few things. Ow. Oh. Go eat a lemon. Remember him? That's not the same one, obviously, but we got a few things to take care of. I love dropped inputs. I love when I'm hitting the Ash of War button and I don't Ash of War. Like, as you guys have seen, I will 100% take the blame when I mess up, but oh my goodness. Not my kingdom, but somebody's kingdom for Miyazaki to fix the dropped inputs in this game. I'm gonna die. You know what? Not today, Satan. I'll be back. Because I just don't want to have to redo that run. That was the main thing. I did not want to redo having to run all the way back there. So now we're going to go ahead and go back down and finish what we started. I wonder if I can just pelt him with a fireball from here. What's their range on that? Not great. Not great, the range. Come on. I'm being cheap. You can't be cheap too. How dare you defend yourself with my cheap tactics? Bro. Get within range of my fireballs. Come let me cheaply finish you off. Okay. Alright, we need to take care of a couple of things, but first we're going to go back up. And we're not going to be able to do much of anything in our current state. So we need to go and get Roderica's memento so she can get a little bit of closure. But first, let's introduce the Knight's Crucible to his mortality. Woo! Also, if you want to do like a Great Shield build, there's a really pretty decent, you can get, I think it's the Tower Shield is here. Okay. Whoop. Woo! Okay. Missed. Okay. So we could do, like you saw me do before, and just parry, riposte, parry, riposte, parry, riposte. Or we run away and we go over here. And we let our friend get a little bit closer. Yeah, I feel like they weren't hired for their brains. Okay, well. That takes us back up to the Rampart Tower, but we're going to go ahead and just teleport back up there. We can also meet Roger here, and I probably should, because it's a little bit easier to get Roger's rapier if you do his quest line. But you can get it regardless, and I'm not going to use it, so it doesn't really matter. So now we are going to, yeah, so you can see these are all the spare parts that Godric keeps around for the grafting and uses to make the grafted scions. And Gostock is obsessed with the grafting ritual as well. So Gostock, there's a dialogue option you can find where he's actually like raiding corpses to get parts to begin grafting himself in the hopes that that'll make him stronger. But if we pop over here, let's take out the big one. Okay. So now with the Chrysalids Memento, either way Roderica shows up to Round Table, but if you get the Chrysalids Memento before you beat Godric, then you can give it to Roderica, and she'll realize her compatriots bear. Like, let's take a moment here. Brooch wrapped in velvet, memento left behind by the Chrysalids sacrificed for grafting, which was Roderica's contingency. A brooch wrapped in red velvet, traces of blood are visible. Faintly visible spirits try to convey something, but their voices cannot be heard. So Roderica has the power to hear spirits, so now if we take this to her...
Did you give the little chrysalids the message that I love them, and that despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough?
So Roderica finds her way to Round Table on her own, but you can see here she's clearly intending to atone by going to her death and her grafting, her fate worse than death. But if you give her the memento...
A keepsake? From my men? Oh, goodness me. I can't...
And because she's a spirit tuner, she can hear their earnest desire is for her to know that she was loved and they bear her no ill will for their fates.
They all believed in me. They all thought I'd make something of myself, me, who can't do anything. I think I'll head to the Round Table Hold. Perhaps I'll find my purpose there.
And then... So that's the end of her dialogue here, but now if you go back to Round Table Hold, Roderica will have found her way there, as opposed to her just finding her way there on her own.
Greetings. Nice to see you again. My name is Roderica. I should have told you sooner.
She's such a great
Isn't
NPC.
this place impressive, though? The Round Table. I never knew the guide, although I'm still looking for my...
So then...
And please allow me to express for giving me that keepsake from my men. It was as if I was frozen with self. You have my gratitude.
So that is the endpoint for now for her questline. Also, for anybody trying to do Nefeli's questline and unable to progress it, you have to progress Roderica's quest to do Nefeli's questline. So Roderica has to realize she's a spirit tuner, and I think the reason why they did that is that Nefeli has dialogue specifically where she says, "I'm not like Roderica, I can't hear the spirits," which implies some manner of like friendship or interaction between them. But yeah, if you're not able to do Nefeli's questline, you have to progress Roderica's to the point that she becomes a spirit tuner, and then you can finish Nefeli's questline. So another interesting thing is if we look at the description for the spirit jellyfish ashes that she gave us. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon a spirit jellyfish, a floating spirit that illuminates its surroundings. Prone to tears, the jellyfish girl searches for her distant home. Will bravely spew poison at foes on her summoner's behalf. It seems her name is Aurelia. So this lets you know she's in pain, she's in sorrow, she's crying constantly. And when you progress her quest line, you understand why, like, you even more so than the fact that she's died, even more so than the fact that she's so far from home. You find out specifically why she's always crying, but you don't get to finish her quest line until like almost the end of the base game. But if you're looking for the story in Elden Ring, it's important to look at the item descriptions because that's where you get the story. Goodness. 4:19. I've been recording for 4 hours and 20 minutes straight. And I have not eaten today. I'm so hungry. I mean, but we only have 2 more things to do here, so I may as well just kind of power through it and finish it. And then make a sandwich, and then go to bed, and then go to my day job. So we are going to just wrap this up a quick like. I think this is the Highland Axe? Yeah. Which also, I think I should have the Sacrificial Axe. I got it from the Deathbird. If you keep the Sacrificial Axe in your offhand, then you get the special effect. Okay. The special effect is a small amount of FP is restored upon slaying a foe. Also, Wild Strikes is a great Ash of War, especially if you make it be an occult weapon or make it be a blood weapon. But now, so like if I do this, I should get... Oh, does it not work like that? Oh, hold on. I think I have to actually have it out. So you should see me get... Yeah, it's not much, but you see I get FP back now when I kill enemies. So it's great to just keep Sacrificial Axe in your offhand when you're exploring the world map. Because then... you just get free FP back all the time. So it's just a great way to top off your FP when you're in the field. Doesn't really help you in boss fights, but when you're in the field, it's nice. Get some good upgrade materials out of these guys. Bye-bye. Okay, I could go up into those little watchtowers, but I don't need anything there. So it's fine. This is another enemy that it's interesting that he's here, because he is a omen, and the existence of the omens is a sin in Marika's religion, even though 2 of her sons are omens. Which, there's some theory crafting going around that, the reason why, like, if you look at all of Marika's children, all of her kids are cursed in some way, shape, or form. And when you go through the lore in the DLC, you find that the Hornsent people, even though the Hornsents did absolutely atrocious, unspeakable, horrific things to America's people, they placed a curse on America that you could take to be a very literal curse. And it seems like that curse is carried out on America's children because every one of America's kids is afflicted in some capacity. And I'm not counting Radagon's kids into this, but you could, in a way, view them as being afflicted also. And the reason being is the DLC, with what we come to understand about Mikola and Saint Trina, the DLC seems to confirm pretty strongly that, the DLC confirms that the other personality is its own completely separate, living, breathing, thinking individual with its own ego and id and intentions and goals and purposes, which is why America and Radagon also have conflicting goals, right? Like, America destroys the Elden Ring and Radagon tries to restore it. So Saint Trina lets us know beyond all shadow of a doubt that the other personality is its own completely separate person that can also exist independent of the prime personality. So whether Radagon was separate from Marika when she sent him to take down Renala is unknown. But it is a statement of fact that they are separate entities. So much more damage. And it comes out so fast. More damage, it attacks quickly. So you look at, Godwin, as far as we know in life, Godwin wasn't afflicted. But, oh, I thought that was a different attack. I just realized that I set a terrible precedent. I paused mid-story time because I realized, because I'm counting these guys as bosses, there's one in an incredibly annoying location that I'm going to have to fight by my own rules that I've established. Let's just stop off. Yeah, the one in the Lake of Rot is going to be very annoying. So for anybody wondering how Roger became paralyzed, this is how... Oh, is the bloodstain not there? I guess because I haven't spoken to Roger. So Roger's bloodstain is here, and you see him getting impaled by this manifestation of Godwin, which the Japanese makes clear Godwin's soul is fragmented and spread throughout all of these manifestations. And also, there's another lore call out where when you get to the end of Fia's quest line, if you attack Fia before you actually complete her quest line, then Godwin straight up blasts you with death sorceries. And for the longest time, people were they would get very mad and they would come at each other's neck and be like, no, you're wrong, it's Fia attacking you, obviously. Godwin's not even there anymore. However, Fia specifically calls out that she's not the one who attacks you. And props to Zilly the Witch for finding this. She's another Elden Ring theorist. I don't know that I would necessarily call her a theorist. Maybe she is. I don't know what she calls herself. She does Elden Ring research videos. I don't really see Zully theorize so much as I see Zully find interesting hidden parts of the lore and then explain those hidden parts of the lore to people. Maybe she's a theorist also. But anyways, Zully was the first person I saw calling out the fact that... You know what? Actually, it wasn't a Zully video. Zully called out the Japanese translation that she got from another YouTuber whose name I can't recall. Apologies. That Godwin's soul is split between all of his manifestations. But there was somebody who had a YouTube short that I saw that Fia has dialogue where when she blasts you, or when you get blasted by Godwin, she says, "Godwin, is that you?" Like words to the effect of like, "Are you protecting me?" So that's interesting.
You were a fine warrior. Your only mistake was your choice.
And this is Nefeli Lu, my favorite character in the game.
Well, tarnished I am I'm here by decree.
And if you become mega best friends with Nefeli, then you can call her to help you fight Godric. Also, like, for anybody who's like, oh my gosh, he didn't mark off the skulls, how will he know? Like, I'm on the last boss of Limegrave, so that's why I stopped marking the skulls, because it doesn't really matter at this point. It's also why I'm not going back and breaking the statue to get the smithing stones back there. Where that omen was, there is a statue that can be broken to get smithing stones. But I'm about to go to Liurnia, and the first thing I'm going to do when I get there is get the bell bearing for smithing stones, so it's kind of pointless. But yeah, I mean, so you've got America's first kids are omens. You know, you have, technically speaking, Melania and Mikola aren't cursed. Well, Melania anyways. I don't know about Mikola, but Melania technically is not cursed. She, the god of rot, is obsessed with Melania and wants to make her be his bride. And so she's afflicted by the rot because the rot god wants her. Mikola's eternal youth, I'm not really sure why that is a thing. We're gonna call Nefeli just because I like her and she's my favorite character. Nefeli and then Selen. And then the rest are kind of just there. Okay, I'm putting the controller down. I'm remembering to let you guys see the cutscene. I'll be back.
Mighty dragon, thou art a true born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well. A lowly tarnished, playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
Who are you calling a lily tarnished? Alright. Oh, I already drank my go-go juice. So this is another boss. Oh my gosh, my face itches. This is another boss that is resistant to holy. So switching to Bloodhound actually would be better, but I'm already here. Although now I have time. Oh crap. Okay. Yeah, much better damage output, plus I do bleed damage now. So, I'm going to give a practical reason why you might not want to use summons, and by all means, again, I am not an elitist player. Like, you play however you have fun. I enjoy using summons myself, because it makes it feel like you're like, traveling with companions. But, some practical reasons why you might not want to use summons. One is that it throws off the boss attack patterns. Like, the bosses become a lot less easy to read because they're not always after you. And then also, the bosses get more powerful for every summon or additional player that you have. They get, like, a bigger health bar. I don't think they do more damage, but they have bigger health bars. Maybe their damage output increases, I'm not sure. But summoning NPCs is considered to be the same thing as summoning other players. So it increases the boss health, and it probably does something to the damage output also. But like, see, if I know that he's targeting me, then I know how to dodge everything coming my way. But if I'm not his prime target, then it becomes a little bit harder to dodge attacks. Give me my sacred sword. Give me my fingerprint talisman. Give me my sacrificial axe. Alright, that is every boss in Limgrave and Liurnia. I meant to pop a gold pallet for that fight, but I didn't. And you know what? We're not going to use Godric's weapon, so we're just going to go ahead and pop his rune for the money. Okay. Can I wear my gloves yet? Boo. Well, I can wear a pair of gloves. And really, you just want to be over 50 poise. Like, 50 poise is the break point to be able to tank at least one attack. So as long as you're over 50 poise, if you're playing a kind of tankier build, that's what you want to go for. But I've been recording for 4 hours and 34 minutes straight now. I'm very tired and hungry. So I'm going to call it here. But that's Liurnia and Limgrave done. So, yay! On our way to KOing all the bosses. So again, I hope you guys are enjoying the series. Like I said, I don't know how well this is going to do. It's why I'm having these videos pop up on off days in between having Clock Tower and One Shots play on Fridays, which is like the main upload day for this channel. But I was playing Elden Ring today. I uninstalled it to force myself to play other games because I just don't. I had just been beating Elden Ring over and over and over again because, again, it was very stress relieving for me. And I was like, I have such a big backlog of games. I need to play something else. And I've done everything this game has at this point. Like, I 100% did the main game and the DLC. So let's just uninstall it and play some other games. But I reinstalled it for the first time in like a month. And I was playing around with it and having a good time. And I was like, even if it doesn't do well on the channel, this is a very important game to me. And so I just wanted to have one complete playthrough of Elden Ring on my channel. Like I said, I've tried twice before. The first time I stopped because it performed terribly. And it's a lot of time and effort to make these videos. So I was like, well, if I'm getting like 5 and 6 views, I may as well be investing that time in a game that people actually want to see me play. And then the second time, there was the untimely death of a beloved relative. And so I just stopped doing YouTube for a while after that. And now I'm back. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll keep having something else pop up. Because at this point, Elden Ring is several years old. I don't know how much people care about seeing another person play the game. But hopefully you're enjoying it. I know I am. And as always, whether I get 1 view or 10 or 20 or 30 or more, I'm grateful for every view I get. So, but I am so tired right now. So I'm going to go make a sandwich and then go to bed. So as always, this is Eugene, the author, saying, you're awesome, be amazing, you already are. Take care, dreamers.